Sorry about the interruptions. I don't know what's been going on with my connection. I think we might have a little bit too many TVs uh, on at too many times. I don't know, too many. Everybody streaming at once. Okay, this is part two. Um, I guess I can go in depth a little bit now. I got a hot little second to tell you a couple of the things. Mind you, my opinion is biased. Um, and I tell you that because obviously I have melanin in my skin. So I feel like I am subject of one of these, one or two or three of these different problems. Um, I think the reliance on detectives um, getting information from the community that they constantly kidnap and assault and murder civilians of that community is a downfall. It's dumb. It's pointless to ask for um, people of that community's help if that's what you do. When you come into that area and you ask them questions, they sit here like, "Do I help the person that's gonna hurt me later?" You know what I'm saying? That's what they think. Or am I helping the person that's gonna put a case on me later? And people haven't shown better. And I'm a history buff, so I'm gonna stay out of history on this one. I think it's the war on drugs, though, because it's putting people in a category of possibilities. Just like they got a category of people that's possible radicals, right? In the military, they got to watch out for these possible radical people. And then you got this war on drugs or war on crime, war on criminals, war on criminal activity. And I think the only really war on criminal activity we really need to have is the sex trafficking syndicate. I feel like until politicians come with better numbers with that, I don't really want to hear it. We need that shit to stop. We need to stop as far as governors and judges helping, to CPS workers helping, to people in the community helping. We need all that shit stop. But as far as these long-winded investigations on drug cases that don't uh, come up with the amount of tax money that we spent on the case is dumb. Um, Especially when you are charging people in the system and they're not able to pay back what you put in. You know what I mean? Like say you put in $1 million for $100 drug bust, and the drug dealer isn't even worth the $100 that you caught him worth the drugs that he has. So then you spent $1 million on that drug bust, and you got an arrest. Now you gotta spend umpteen dollars on him being an inmate. I just don't see how this process is actually curing the community, curing the. I mean, I just don't. I would like for somebody to show me. I can see, mind you, I'm against that system. I don't want to be a part of that system. But I can see if you was threatening them with hard labor. Unfortunately, I can understand if you would threaten them with hard labor or threatening them with having to complete the task that they have been able to complete their whole lives. What you telling them is after they do a crime, they can lay up for a few years, eat some food. It's a tough place. It's a bad place, but it's a place. But we pay thousands of dollars for them to lay up. Mind you, there's homeless people that can't even pay $1 for rent. I mean, I'm just saying that the system is kind of weird, and the asking for help from the people in the community is never really going to work. And if the people are saying that there's a problem in that, then maybe even if you don't feel as if it's a problem, you should change, and maybe you will get the results that you want. Your community that you're policing might help you if you were to do something that they ask. I mean, you ask them for something, they tell you something, you meet them with resistance, and then you're met with more resistance. I don't understand why you don't understand the process. When that's exactly what happened with us to separate the 13 colonies from everything else, from everyone else. Let them know, hey, we touched down. Shit Gucci over here. They sent the message back like, hey, you sent the message back. We're resistant. They sent the message back. We're resistance. What happened? So you already know the math problem. Y'all have seen it. It's not the first time, but y'all want to act like y'all it's brand new. Why? Black people grabbing guns. Black people been had guns, bro. Let's just hope it stay the people with that's legally able to have guns stay with guns uh, and exercise their rights. Because when the illegals get into that, they always say, hey, those people, they got guns. They have guns for years. Yeah, they had guns since the 1800s, damn it. You know something crazy? We've been seeing how we outnumber them more and more. And I be telling people, man, I hope it doesn't come to a violent outcome, but if people start paying attention to their history more and more, they'll see that nations aren't given. The closest thing I think of a nation being given was the division of Hong Kong. And they're supposed to have another 50, oh, no, 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 not 50 years. They have another 27 years, 2047, I believe. They already giving pressure. Because nations ain't given, and that's not even a nation in itself, but it still has some autonomy, has some type of amnesty, I should say. I mean, a little bit of division between everybody, and that's the first time I seen it was merged in between two and split from one to another. I don't, I don't know how that would happen. What would they do? Give us the whole state of Alaska, the whole state of New Mexico, the whole state of South Dakota, and let us make it our own sovereign nation. So I look for solutions in my brain. I check history. I try. But these people, they're asking for things that I don't necessarily know if they'll get. Reparations are not doled out in the mail. Reparations is doled out to a government or maybe a political party. I might have to see. I might have to dig into that actually. But I know reparations ain't doled out to civilians. Now they can give it and send it to a political party, and the political party, as instructed, could divvy it out. Oh man, forgot all about that. Sorry about that, but this all ties into the system. It's terrible, and I'm not trying to. So we've already seen the division of a nation between us, between America and, let's say, the powers that be. I'm gonna try to stop naming names. Me personally, I'm not trying to bring up no red flags. I'm a regular dude. I'm a father. That's really all I really care about. That's why I care about history, to know where my kids is going, because I see patterns. So back to the problem. The war on drugs, the war on crime is being funded like the war in Iraq. You see police officers coming out, man, and they looking like army soldiers. Sure. And now it make people like us want to get holsters too. Make people like us want to get chest vests too. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I mean, I guess that's everybody's right. But if we haven't learned from history that when you show a power, somebody's gonna respond with a higher power. So you gotta be willing to be victim of something greater than that after you enforce something. Like history, like even with the atomic bomb. I mean, shit, going for the bomb, man, that bomb. Nuclear power wasn't even being serious. Nuclear bombs when you so now everybody's so nervous. That's what the Cold War was about. Cold War, missile crisis. We had so many different problems after this one problem that we presented to the world. After we showed, hold on one second. Oh, sorry about that. Children of mine getting into it. Studies say that they ain't supposed to get along too often. Oh yeah, I do the numbers, man. I be looking up numbers, man. I pay attention to shit like that because statistics is important. Help you get a basis of where you at and where things are at. And that's why people always, oh, I want to bring up this thing, but I want to just bring this one up real quick. Now I'm gonna roll over it. Everybody be like, when are we gonna be able to address black on black crime? When the fuck is we gonna be able to address white on white crime? There's as many black on black crimes as it. There's white on white crimes, motherfucker. I be like, that's so silly. You kill who you next to in certain aspects. Accidental deaths are who you are next to in certain aspects. If you put an all white community of people and there's a death in that community, who do you think did it? If you put an all Indian community together and an Indian dies, Who do you think did it? Murdered. Sorry. So when you put a million black people in one city and there's a murder that happens, who the fuck do you think did it? Why are we addressing it? Why don't we spread them out? Hey, how about we move the murderer to your house? Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about that shit. I'm, t- I'm over it. I'm not trying to be sensitive. But the thing about it is, just as many domestic violence cases as it is with black on black people is white on white domestic violence cases. So I would just like to say that they ain't found that one race is more abusive than the other race yet. I ain't seen that one. And if it is, they avoiding that one because it's probably slightly higher in other cases. War on drugs, war on crime. Yeah, okay. It's a war on brown people. And that don't and since I'm and like I said, I'm that don't mean I'm pro in fact because I said niggas should have guns. Black brothers should have guns to defend their families. I think that is number one because if you don't have a gun, the criminal do. I'm just letting you know that, bro. And if you got daughters out here, you need to protect them because there's peds out here just running around here trying to creep in people's cribs. So you need to have something to stop them. I'm just putting people on game because the state that I live in is number two for sexual trafficking. They snatching kids up. I don't even play. So that's against the law. Then it's against the law, but I'm gonna protect mine by any means necessary. And I don't know what type of man y'all was raised to be, but if guns is a good defense, if a knife is a better defense, if pepper spray is a good defense, if my teeth, if my nails, if anything, you're not taking mine. That's why one of the reasons why I think that black men need to protect them because ours is coming up missing more than theirs. So if your daughter come up missing, you're gonna be looking stupid. So you better do something because that dad that woke up this morning, he ain't expect his daughter to get snatched either. He was playing around. With playing. So when the cops say they trying to crack down on crime and they're not trying to crack down on that type of crime, I ain't hearing shit. Patrol the streets where the kids is playing so we make sure that the kids stay safe and in their pocket and where they're supposed to be at. Stop shooting the kids with water guns. They supposed to be out there with water guns. It's hot. Let them enjoy their summer. Police brutality. I said I was gonna keep this video short. Three things. The war on drugs is a sham. Stop killing brown people. Stop cornering brown people. Us brown people get the drugs from the white people. We didn't know how to make crack. They taught us. We started improvising. Made it better. Made it worse. We didn't know how to cook up heroin. They taught us. We never got no gun. We don't know how to order guns like that. They shipping them to us. They be feeding these communities. How these motherfuckers in Chicago get so many guns? You think .com is sending them to them? And you think they letting a black person come over with a ship full of them with our names on them? You think it's a black-owned company shipping them bitches? Lock in. They be talking about these problems. They gonna get rid of this lie. Y'all don't be thinking. That's why y'all don't critically think. Critical thinkers. Y'all not critical thinkers. Y'all read headlines. Never read the actual article. You want to hide something from black people? Put it in the book. They hide your religion in the book. They hide you in the book. Y'all silly, man. I just wanted to say that police brutality is a motherfucker. Police issues is another thing. Uh, I ain't on here to talk about police brutality. In my experience with such, I was on here to talk about issues, and I know if you continue to assault and kidnap, because some of these kids, they see the cops once, and people in their lives leave and don't come back for a very long time. And to them, when they grow up, that is the definition of kidnapping. Especially when their family members come home and are completely innocent of things. So they really don't understand how mistakes happen like that. So you gotta understand on our side. I'm trying to understand your side. I'm trying to understand our side. You gotta think about that. Peace. Part two, police issues.